All right, remember when you're solving an equation that has fractions in it, the trick you want to use is to go ahead and to multiply both sides by the common denominator so that you can eliminate the denominators of your fraction and no longer have fractions. So that's what we're going to do here. We can see that the common denominator is going to be y minus 1 and y minus 2. Okay, so remember we can just take this negative up here and this minus in front of the fraction and move it up to the numerator. Okay, so we can just take care of that. Then we can multiply both sides of the equal sign by y minus 1 and y minus 2. Okay. Now we can see what's going to happen over here on the right side of the equal sign. Since there's only one fraction over here, we can go ahead and just simplify already. This y minus 1 with y minus 1 and the y minus 2 with the y minus 2. And it's going to leave you with a negative 4 over here. Okay? And over here on the left, you're going to need to distribute that, both of these, the y minus 1 and the y minus 2, to both parts of, so both the integer value here and the fraction value here. So you're going to get 5 times the quantity of these two values, so y minus 1 times y minus 2. And then you're going to get minus, and you can see here when you distribute these through that the y minus 2's will cancel out, and it's going to leave you with 4 times the quantity of y minus 1. So that's equal to a negative 4. Remember, this is being multiplied by both of these values separately, not at the same time. Okay, so now go ahead and let's go ahead and multiply these two together, and then we'll multiply them by 5. Okay, so y times y is y squared, and then y times a negative 2 is a negative 2y. And then we're going to take this negative 1 and multiply it by y. That gives you a negative y. And then a negative 1 times a negative 2 is a positive 2. Okay. Now we can go ahead and distribute through here, and that's going to be a negative 4 times y. It's minus 4y. And a negative 4 times a negative 1, and that's a positive 4. Alright, so we can see here that this is going to, these are going to combine together for a negative 3y. So when we go ahead and distribute through, well, I'll just rewrite it so we don't get confused there. Y squared minus 3y plus 2. I'm going to multiply that by 5. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and distribute through the 5, and we'll get 5y squared minus 15y plus 10 minus 4y plus 4 equals a negative 4. Okay, so we're going to see that we have a quadratic equation. We want to get everything on the left side, so it's equal to 0. So we're going to have 5y squared, and then negative 15y minus 4y is a negative 19y. and then we're going to have 10 plus 4 is 14. And we're going to add 4 to both sides here. So that'll be plus 18 equals 0. Now we're going to need to factor these. We can see that we can't common factor anything. So the method I like to use to go ahead and multiply the 5 times the 18 together to get 90. So we're looking for two numbers that multiply to give you 90. But add to give you negative 19. So let's see, we've got 1 times 90, 2 times 45, and just start looking at it systematically here. And let's see, 3 times 30, 4 doesn't work, 5, we know 5 and 18, okay, 6 and 15, seven isn't going to work, 8 won't work, and 9 times 10. There we go. And so that's going to be a negative 9 and negative 10. And so we're going to rewrite this. Five y squared minus 10y plus, oops, sorry, that's going to be plus a negative, so 9y plus 18. So we're going to group these, and we can common factor a 5 and a y, and we're left with y minus 2. And then we're going to common factor out a negative 9, and that's going to give you a positive y, and 18 divided by negative 9 is a negative 2. And then remember, we're factor by grouping again, so we can see that we can pull out a y minus 2 from both of these, and then you're left with 5y minus 9 as your other factor. Okay, so solve both of these for y, and you're going to get y equals 2. And here, 5y minus 9 equals 0. You add 9 to both sides and divide by 5, and so get 9/5. Okay, so we have those solutions, and we want to check them out with, are either one of those our restricted values? So we look back up here at our original equation, and we notice that we have two factors, y minus 1 and y minus 2. So set both of those to E0, and so that would give you that y cannot equal 1 and y cannot equal 2. And these are our restricted values, and you notice that one of our answers is one of those restricted values, so that is not a solution. Y cannot equal 2. So your answer is just y equals 9/5. Don't forget to check for those restricted values.